What's good, y'all? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. We got me and the super producer in the building. It's a smaller show, but still giving you that fire content. On today's show, Joel wants to talk running back.
No,
Hey, listen,
God,
you're the running back guy.
I'm gonna turn. Hold on, you can't hear him anymore, people, because you can't hear him. You can't.
Hello?
What was that? No, you can't hear
Joel,
him. You can't hear
hello?
him. Nope.
I'm
nope.
still here.
I did not.
I'm still here.
You're not doing
Joe
that.
wants to talk running backs, ladies and gentlemen. He's always in on the running back market. No, honestly, we're just talking about some of the biggest things the Chicago Bears are going to need outside of the Justin Fields and Caleb Williams conversation. I know every single day until a decision is made, we will be talking about these two. But there are still 51 other guys that have to be added to this team for this team to go out there and be successful. So, want to look around. Brad Biggs put an article out talking about free agency and kind of where the where the Bears are going to focus in free agency. Also looking at the running back market and diving in on where we want to maybe spend a little bit of money. I got $3 million for you. We'll see what we got out there, man. What's available. And we do have to talk a little bit of Bulls coming up at the end of this show, because guess what? The trade deadline's coming. Are the Bulls going to do anything? It seems like there's some interest, and maybe they could get some draft capital back. 3 second-round picks for Andre Drummond. We'll see about that. Talk about all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. My guy, we're back in the stew. The stew is up and running. We thought we had some issues going on. How you feeling? A little less sweat today?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just irritating. I don't know what's going on. As we get all these kinks out, getting everything built. So I'm glad to see. Hey, we're here. Hopefully, Breeze Nations, they're still rocking with us. We appreciate you guys even sticking with us. What was that? Was that Monday night?
Monday night, yeah. We had what, 60 people, 70 people, something people like that, waiting on us, and then over 400 people joined the late night live. So really appreciate you guys for rocking with us, showing love, man. Let's jump into the show, my guy. Let's jump into the show because you want to talk about running backs as always. No.
I'm gonna jump over this table and strangle you.
I mean, you're the only one that talks running backs, dog.
We're just going down all the positions that are there. My whole point is that I just want playmakers. So whether it's a tight end, it's a receiver, it's a running back, if we got some talented guys that are worth something, that's what I want. So it's not so much that I don't want to be irresponsible when it comes to, spending money, building the team out, things of that nature. So,
well, let's talk about some of the top running backs that the Bears will have available in free agency, and if they should go that route. Of course, Saquon Barkley, who's on the picture, the number one guy, but some other names that are out there that I do think could be interesting here if we're actually going to have a legit conversation on this. Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins. All interesting names in that running back market right now. I'm probably down at the 6 to 10 range on that, but I'll say this, right? I don't know what Derrick Henry's future entails. I don't know where he wants to be. I would assume he wants to go somewhere where he can compete for a championship. I don't know if that's going to be the Chicago Bears. But if you could convince Derrick Henry to come here, I do think there's still a lot of life left in him as a running back. I know he's on the wrong side. I know that I would not go out and pay him the same money that I once said that I would pay him because of how he's aged out. Would Derrick Henry be somebody that maybe would interest you? Yes, he's not. I don't know if he still has that breakaway Derrick Henry speed that he once had, as big as he was, but the idea of somebody who you can run at a linebacker over and 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 over, as one said by Marshawn Lynch, is something that is appealing to me.
Well, I think the whole point was it's more about having a player where we can trick the defense and someone that's consistent. I mean, when you put receivers out there, a lot of times your packages are going to tell you to a degree what they're going to run. So it'd be nice if you can have an every down back, so to speak, that can, you need a guy to come and spell here and there, but at least a guy that can come in. What I'm looking at, why I put the guys that I picked on my list there was the guys that can possibly catch. It's age, but it's also being able to receive.
Yeah.
So that was my whole position. It was more like if we were to like I said, our running back room is pretty much they're all one trick ponies. One guy can run through tackles. The other guy is just a straight line runner. One guy can't block. One guy can block but doesn't have breakaway speed. Like we can't. We
and
don't
one
have
guy
everything.
has a combination of both, but he's a rookie, and you can't really.
Yeah,
like all you were throwing him out there for was like, hey, our offensive line sucks. Go block.
Exactly. And it's like that's all we're using them for, which doesn't help. But because there's so many, we still got to get the line fixed.
Yeah.
So, but the idea is that it's just getting more playmakers in the building. That's all it is.
I think the part that's tough, the one thing I will say is I do think that you have some good backs here. I do think Khalil Herbert's a good running back. I think Deontay Foreman would be a good guy to re-sign as well. But the thing that you have to do is you have to consistently give them the ball. Here's the part where I think the biggest question comes in with that getting done is Shane Waldron. Everybody's sitting there reacting to this clip of Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, by the way, I don't know if I care what the fourth string rookie running or wide receiver thinks. Like, I'm not, it's no disrespect to him. It's just right. Like, not to say you're not a part of what they're doing out there or what they were doing, but like, that would be like me saying, man, why isn't Tyler Scott getting more targets? Well, I know why. I felt he got too many targets last season, right? Like, I know where like Geno Smith's never getting to his third or fourth option in that offense. Unfortunately, Jackson Smith and Jig was his third or fourth option in that offense. So with that clip going around, everybody freaking out about what Shane Waldron's going to be because of that clip, I don't know if I care a lot. But what I will say is there wasn't a lot of running in that system. Has he figured out that he's going to utilize a running back? Because no matter what, backs aren't able to get – that was about to be a crazy pause. Running backs aren't able to get lathered up for you. Yeah, that was about to be insane. And you know, get that sweat going and get ready to go until you consistently give them the football. And that's something we didn't do last year. I don't know if that's going to be something we do this year. Wow. And not to say we didn't consistently run it, but you got 6, you got 6, you got 6. Like, I don't think that's the answer either.
Yeah, well, I think what we need to do, honestly, is we should review Seattle's offense from last year. Like, try to break down and see how they would kind of run it, just to kind of get an idea of maybe what we possibly could be running here. But it's also dependent on the skill set of the quarterback too. So, but just how they use their formations, how do they use the tight ends, how do they use the running back? I don't necessarily believe that the running game that the running backs they had were really the guys. I think they had guys that could run, kind of like what we have.
Yeah.
Which means you're not going to necessarily lean on the running backs that we do have per se. I mean, then again, I do like Roschon. I just feel like I don't know if he has the breakaway speed I'd like to see, but then again, he has a great yards per average in his carries. I actually like Deontay Foreman too, but they just didn't use him right. And Khalil Herbert, to me, he's cool, but he's just a straight line runner. He's got some, give him a lane, he can take it. But other than that, he needs the line to be really good.
Yeah.
So my thing is, again, if we was to get Saquon, that's a uber talented dude that can catch, run, break a couple tackles, get some yards after the catch. And kind of, if this is the type of system that we're going to be running, maybe he's more Debo-ish, or is Christian McCaffrey light?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing, right? You're looking for guys that can do a little bit of everything, because it feels like the run game in this system is almost going to go. But I mean, it almost turns into what Matt Nagy was running here, right? Except you hope that it's done the right way. Because this is the one thing I'll say. They're not overly utilizing Isaiah Pacheco out in KC.
Yeah.
The reason we know who Isaiah Pacheco is because of the hard runs, because of how aggressive he is, and because his running style is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
He runs like a cartoon character. So like that's why he sticks in our brain as if he's being utilized a ton. But Isaiah Pacheco's not getting 18 to 20 carries a game.
But he's not that guy.
But he's their number one running back.
Yeah, because that's all they got. When Kareem Hunt was there, they were
same thing. No, that's why they didn't like it as much.
He was a problem. Kareem Hunt was a problem. And then that whole stuff went down with him.
Yeah,
and then
just kicked her. It was
Clyde Edwards.
It was insane. You didn't have to kick her. What are we kicking her
sometimes
for?
You got to never mind. But anyways, with Clyde, Clyde Edwards, I think that he was probably a good prospect, but he probably just got beat down. He's not the same guy. So he's just not the guy. Like, it's enough of that's to me, that's why it validates your argument There's a lot of guys like them. A lot of guys that are just good dudes. The Kenneth Walkers, you got Pacheco, you got Edwards-Helaire, our boy, like I just said, Herbert. Like a lot of those guys are all lumped together as good dudes, but are they the guy as a dynamo? So that's why I'm looking at only basic. I mean, like, yeah, we would love to get Derrick Henry, but like, Derrick Henry at 30 is probably good for a year or two. But Saquon at 26, yeah.
Well, I think my point on the conversation, and that's the point to take, good place to take it, right? Derrick Henry at 30 versus Saquon at 26. How much are you planning on getting out of a guy? Because for me, I don't foresee any team having a 10-year running back.
No.
I'm 3 to 4 years.
Saquon to me is the caliber of the 7 to 10 year running back. The rest of these other guys are typically 3-year type running backs.
Which I guess I understand that, but it's like, are you gonna pay a running back that long when you know other problems are going to come up? And yes, I do think Saquon is still a good football player. I don't think that he's the player that he was his first and second year. I don't. I think injuries have robbed him of that. Guess what? He gotten injured this year. Doesn't mean he's still not really good. But can I go out and get 3 years out of a guy? Can I go out and get 2 years out of a guy? Right? Like a Derrick Henry, he's what? He's 30 this year?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry till 32 is probably still going to be decent. He's not going to be great. He's not going to be amazing. And maybe you can get him in here at I'll up my number, right? I give you 10 mil for 2 years. Like that. And here's the thing. I don't believe Derrick Henry's coming here. I think he wants to go to a team that's going to allow him a chance to have a Christian McCaffrey moment. Maybe he goes down to, don't go to Dallas, right? Like, don't go to Dallas.
Dallas would make sense for him.
Dallas would make sense, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Well, like, that's the part that's tough. But like, maybe you see him go to a Baltimore where it's like, hey, you have no choice but to at least turn around and give me the ball a certain amount of times.
Honestly, it's not even about Henry. It's really, to me, Saquon, and I see Barkley, Josh Jacobs. But the only problem with Josh is that I don't see him as a receiving threat. I'm looking for someone like Eckler and Saquon are appealing because they can catch the ball. What
are your thoughts on the Tony Pollard?
Tony, he's okay. I don't look at him as the guy. Like, he did very well as the, backup to Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, I think like you're not
like he's like who did we just lose that went to Detroit?
David Montgomery.
He's like a David Montgomery. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. Great guy. One heck of a guy. You know what I'm saying? But is not the guy. And my point is, Saquon has the ability. He still has some in the tank. We're not talking about giving this dude a 10-year contract. It might be 2 years, 3 years, whatever. But I'm just saying that I wouldn't be mad if we did. That's all I'm getting at. I'm not mad. Look, in terms of the Bears, I'm not mad if we keep Justin Fields, and I'm not mad if we trade him and end up if we get Caleb Williams. Like, either way, we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
And if Poles, is able to identify talent, Josh Jacobs probably is more of a dynamic guy because of his age and necessarily wear and tear, but I don't see him as a receiving threat as I would do Eckler or Saquon.
My only concern with Josh Jacobs is just it's the same concern with Saquon. I mean, it's health. Now you can say I'm not using him as much. He's getting run down. He's still getting absolutely crushed when he gets out in the open field. He's still a guy that's got to take shots. He's still a guy that's getting hit. Course. And to me, right, like though, I don't think Saquon hasn't had outside of, I think the ACL his rookie year. No, none of it's been behind the line. It's all been when he's been making a play. Right, I want to say the ACL was when he caught a pass, got out and got hit and it tore. This year he was running through the line and got hit and messed himself up. I think it was ankle or knee.
But like Javier,
it's all when these guys are in the motion and they're regular football injuries.
But the point is that the only problem is the consistent theme for those type of guys is that they go to the team and they're the basic number one option. Everything runs through. They're running a wildcat with Saquon. Like, everything is through Saquon.
Yeah.
If you can eliminate that, we have DJ Moore. We have a tight end. We have maybe another couple receivers. Like, that would be great that he is not the focal point. And we also, at the moment, have a quarterback that can run for 1,000 yards if he wants to himself. So it alleviates the pressure. It's just another weapon on the field, and that's all I want. I don't want one-dimensional play. If what's your call is in the backfield, they're running this. We're going to sniff them out. We're going to send a blitz, and they can't pick up nobody.
Yeah, but that's your running back by committee. That's why I don't like it.
No, I still want him to be the number one guy. I'm just saying, but let's say you got him with Roshan. You got two guys in there that can pass block.
By it.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got even if you're spelling Saquon with Roshan, and Roshan finally breaks through after year 2, because that's what Tony Pollard did. Pollard was like a good backup behind Ezekiel, but he wasn't the guy. And then eventually he ascended to the point where Tony Pollard is who we have right now.
The only way I'll say this, and I don't know what length y'all know.
Oh, by the way, real quick, over 100. We had 141.
Over 100 in the chat. Do we got a?
Oh, sorry.
Wait. Oh, why you do the Breeze crew like that? Thank you. My God, you gave him the one.
Got a lot of options over here. I'm sorry.
Over 100 in the chat.
Yeah, we do.
You got them labeled.
We got to shout out Breeze Nation, man. We got Baki in the building.
We got
Oracle. Jay Grizz in the building. King Booker World was happening. B. Bill Sr. was one of the first ones that jumped in. Jay Grizz. Yeah, we're rocking with us. Who else we got up there?
Jay Grizz said only 27 likes, though. Let's get these likes up, dog. 150
Trevor
in
Rogers,
John.
what's happening,
baby?
What's happening? We got Giovanni
Ebby Bear Down Davis.
Unapologetic Truth. King Booker World. Sonic Rings. Knowledge on, was it? Knowledge
Tricky
Unchained?
Trips in the building. First, last in the building. Tricky Trips. We're not the one who got stumbled by that the other day.
Hey, where is my man Muck though?
Why you always looking for Muck, bro?
Julian Parker. Now I don't know.
Jay Crit in the building. Jay Crit been rocking again, bro. Jay Crit was he was MIA for a little while, and then Jay Crit came back.
I think
strong.
Jay Crit's been around.
Hey, Jay Crit. Shout out Jay Crit, man. I'll never forget when Cody. I think it was when Cody Parkey missed the kick. Jay Crit hit me up, and he said he hit me up on either Twitter DMs or something. He was like, "Bro, send me your info. I want to send you something." And collector's edition that I still have the glasses of Crown Royal came to my door. And oh boy, it literally came with a message folded in there that said, "You gonna need alcohol to talk about this team."
Shout out to my son. He said, "What up, Pops?"
Oh, dog.
I got who else? Oh, Ringo up in here. What's up, Ringo?
Leonidas never gets mentioned. Leonidas new. Yeah, we got some new people up in here, man. Drop them bear downs. Appreciate you guys.
I think a new guy I've seen in the chat is was it?
I like Leonidas because Leonidas come in and stir stuff up. Hey, has anybody heard from Don Burr? Has anybody checked on Don Burr?
Yeah, where's Don? Is he
Don Burr down? He got to be down bad right now. You gotta.
He depressed.
That
right
second
now.
half was crazy, bro.
He thought he had it.
That second half was crazy. I still ain't got him his jersey. We got to get the jersey to him. I got to get the jersey. I got to get the jersey to him. Don Burr is now Leonidas. Oh man, we appreciate Breeze Nation for rocking with us. Here's my one scenario where I would be okay. Now I'm not gonna put a price to it because y'all know I don't want to pay him with bringing in Saquon Barkley. My one scenario. I would be fine with bringing in Saquon if the Bears actually decide to draft Caleb Williams, because I do believe that he would be an asset in the backfield that you feel like a young quarterback
you gotta
can use as a safety blanket. Yeah. I would be okay with that. Now, 3 year, $30 million. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. 3 years, $30 million. I don't know if I'm okay with that.
This is Spotrack's, like,
this is the projections.
Yeah,
but I think Saquon probably will get 7 to 10 million. I think he will be in that range. But I truly feel that having that kind of player, if you signed him for 3 years, I think you're going to go through injuries with him. I think you're going to have to deal with all the things that come with it. Austin Eckler, same thing. Josh Jacobs, same thing. But having somebody that a young quarterback knows, hey, it's getting tough out here, I can turn around and hand the football off to him and know something's going to happen. The one thing, we just had Equinemius St. Brown over on the Chicago Bears podcast. And he said, right, not that the wide receivers weren't going all out before DJ Moore and stuff got there, but it gave you a confidence in your offense because you knew you had that playmaker that was going to go out there and make plays differently. I do feel like you could have that with Saquon, and I guess if you had a rookie QB in there, I would rather have that back there than not.
Yeah, I could see. So initially when we talked at the beginning of this whole process, I was fine with the Kansas City model, like trade the picks, and trade the one pick to get multiple picks.
I'm still fine with that, but
I'm fine with it too. But in a sense, you're building up the Kansas City squad, and maybe Fields could be that guy, or he's the Alex Smith of this team until the team is built, or you have a situation where if they go the Caleb Williams route, they sign Saquon. This is more of like the Seahawks route. We're going to protect the quarterback and insulate him with good running back, strong defense, because I do think this defense is on a path of like this could be a really dangerous defense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like and here's the thing. If you do, again, we talked about, if you do go out and you get the young quarterback, you got to hit the ground running. Me and J-Mac broke this down today. You have to hit the ground running because you have a defense that's probably got 4 more years on it.
Yeah.
If that. Well, like you got to start, like in my mind, right? You just signed Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat is 26.
Right.
You got to start thinking about his age 30 season. Right now. You got to start thinking about, okay, who's going to be the guy that's going to step up when he's out? Who are we going to be in a position to draft when he's gone? Because the clock has started on this defense.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the problem. Everything is win now, right now. The defense is practically built, minus another defensive end. I'd like to see an upgrade in our safety spot, and then the 3 technique. We don't know. We don't know if there's going to be a big jump with Dexter. Because
you hope
we should. I mean, he was a 2nd round pick, and he could develop into that guy. Or they do need to get this 3 technique. So we don't know necessarily what they're thinking. I mean, I guess I got to put the GM hat back on. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the most part, they're probably going to roll with the squad.
Put the GM hat back on.
You got to put the GM hat on. Because you're building this team out. If it's based on the business of, you don't necessarily, we don't have to pay Fields for another 2 years regardless. You got 2024 and then you got 2025. Well, you're going to have to tag him and probably pay him with the 20. If they do this 5th year option.
If they pick up his 5th year option, you're paying him 2025. I believe it's $26 million.
Yeah. So, Cam is going ham in the chat.
What is Cam doing?
He wants Justin Fields.
$10 says Fields is staying. Well, I mean, here's the interesting part. I know you came in late yesterday, right? But Justin Fields is still the odds-on favorite to be here.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is still the favorite to, as far as a landing spot in Vegas right now. I know the NFL believes that Justin Fields is good, but Vegas does not. Vegas has him as the favorite. And I'll be honest with you. I've watched many games, and me and Kid have broken down some of these scores at the end of the games when some chicanery starts happening.
Yeah.
Vegas is Vegas for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's not I get all the reports, and listen, I am not somebody that's going to sit here and say Adam Schefter has no idea what he's talking about, and there's no way that the Bears are moving on from Justin, or there's no way that the Bears aren't drafting Caleb Williams. I can't live in absolutes. I don't think that's how the world works.
Right.
But what I will say is I do believe that this team it feels like they're gearing up to move on from Justin.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, you got a lot of pieces you need to add to this team, and now you have less ability to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, ideally, it's you do build for the future, and like I was talking to Jordan, was that on Tuesday? I mean, the thing is that it is a gamble. You can't guarantee that. Like, this draft is very strong in certain players. Next year's draft may not be, and maybe in their mind it could be that, hey, it's not often that we're going to get this number 1 pick. It's not that often. So, the gods gift us, Lovie Smith.
Does he get too excited for glory though? Does he try to go? Does he Icarus himself?
Right.
Tries to get that 3rd first round pick. There's ego attached to all of this, baby.
That's Ashley Larry, right? Ashley Larry's son, Marcy. That joker come back in, get robbed. Like, you was up.
You're just gonna have to shoot me.
Or Leonard Washington, you want this stack? You're gonna have to shoot me for it. Okay.
Bah! What a genius move by Leonard there. Shot him below the kneecap, which means it's not a felony.
Put them cameras in the box. Rodney Quills Dinkins.
Oh, dog. Well, let's take a quick break here and let's talk about on the other side. Brad Biggs put out an article basically stating that about some of the places where the Bears should be focusing their attention outside of the quarterback position, where he believes that they will focus in free agency. We'll talk about that after a word from our Aura sponsor, who Joel's going to have to hit over there because my computer internet is not working. It's in
you
the
want me to do that?
Just hit that right in the restream, and the video clips right there.
Yeah, I'm doing it, man, because that's what we're doing. We're getting these sponsors and
appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold.
Hey, King Booker World silly. I forgot about that. He said, I bought my mama a house, spent the rest on PCP. I forgot about that line.
Oh, welcome back, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talks, so make sure that you get in tune with us. We talked about the running back position. I thought the running back position was a interesting place to start. Joel wanted to do it. And did you mute my mic?
No,
all right. Okay. All right. But Brad Biggs put out 3 positions that he felt the Chicago Bears will be eyeing in free agency in here. He said the 3 positions I would keep an eye on are center, defensive end, and tight end, saying that it's not a great draft class for edge rushers, and the Bears might explore some options on the open market. There are some talented centers in the draft, but the Bears currently don't own a second-round pick, which might be the sweet spot to get a good one. Maybe Poles get a second-rounder if he trades the quarterback Justin Fields. Some I've spoken to believe the return for Fields might be a third-rounder. Who knows right now? The Bears have no depth behind Cole Kmet at tight end right now, so they'll look at options there. So I agree with him. Outside of, I don't know what the draft capital for Justin Fields is going to be at this point. It's all the way. It's anything from a first to a 12th round pick, right? Like picks that don't even exist anymore. You can get for Justin Fields right now. But I guess let's start at the center position. That's one that we felt has been the most important. There's a couple of different centers available that I think are very interesting when you look at, I guess, what Shane Waldron's system, right? And for me, the number one name that pops to the top of my mind is Evan Brown. Ben and Waldron's system. If you do draft Justin Fields and you get a veteran center in here, I'm sorry, if you do trade Justin Fields, you get a veteran center in here. If you can get a second-round pick back, I do think that opens up the opportunity for you then to draft a rookie, very much like they did in Seattle. That's the model they took. They took Oluwatu, I believe his last name is out there.
Ola ain't here. I know that. Sorry.
It was such a dad joke. That was crazy. Dad joke.
Not going to be anymore.
But I feel like that's the obvious answer. Somebody that you could definitely look at the center position. Who are you looking at center wise right now?
I don't want any of them. I want the rookie.
I want my next. You're just starting a rookie center. Just day one, boom, it's your world.
It's better than what we got now.
I don't know if it is.
Why not get the guy that's going to be the guy?
Yeah, but you got to know that he can be the guy at NFL speed.
That's the whole point of them scouting. That's the whole point of draft. So you mean you'll never draft a center? You'll never draft a lineman?
Well, you're generally. It's not that you're not going to draft one, but just to throw him to the wolves day one, just be like, hey, you know what we need you to do? We need you to go out there and stop Chris Jones. Like,
okay, how about this?
That's not, to me. That's
how about this?
Putting somebody in a position where it's sink or swim, and you generally don't want to do that with second round picks.
I got you. Go ahead, sign your free agent, and then draft my eventual replacement, so he can learn the game. Because I think that.
Hey, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry, Chad. I know Joe's been having a little issue with listening today.
What? What? I thought I used my words. What happened? What happened? I'm saying,
Joe, what I just say?
Go ahead and
Joe. What did I just say? What? I want Joe. I want you to tell me what scenario I just laid out, and then I want you to hear what you just said. I could clearly.
That's not the point. The point is that it was in the thoughts are in my head. I got to keep them in there. The whole point is, see, the chat is with me. Powers is ready.
Listen, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm also not taking that from a one-on-one that everybody's tweeting out and is all excited about, right? Like, yes, he's college ready. He's elite at the college level. Is he NFL ready? One-on-ones don't show me that. My favorite tweet from this weekend was when everybody was sitting there tweeting out all the Senior Bowl content. And, look at this guy. He's amazing. How did we ever get a guy like this? This is great. Is Olin Cruz going, oh, it's that time of year again, where people tweet out one-on-ones and make hardline opinions. Like, you can't tell anything from guys in shorts.
Right.
Going one-on-one.
You got to watch the tape. The tape is going to tell you. The Underwear Olympics are there for you just to kind of see them up front, interview, talk to them. But the tape doesn't lie. So if it's either the dude from Oregon or the dude from Georgia, those seem to be the top two guys, I'm fine with that. So I'm sorry, Pat. I wasn't listening to you. Sign a free agent guy just to, as a holdover, because you do need depth anyways.
Yes, you need center depth.
Now, that's all I want.
I guess here's the question: if we traded for Dan Feeney, I don't know if anybody.
That's not a dude. That's not the answer.
No, but you're not looking for the answer. You're looking for a 1-year plug.
I mean, in terms of just
that's what I'm like. I agree with you. Draft the center. I do think that you want to go find your long-term answer in the draft, but you need somebody who's a 1-year fix. And to me, right, Dan Feeney was in a situation where he got traded over here.
No original.
Basically, they were like, just put him in the back of the bus. And then, like, everybody died. Cody Whitehair was terrible. Lucas Patrick got hurt on what game was that? Where he got, like, blindside blocked and got killed running down the field on a fumble.
Was that Minnesota?
That wasn't a fumble.
Was it Minnesota?
I don't know if that was Minnesota. Maybe it was Minnesota. But Feeney comes in. And he did a good job. No, actually, if I'm not mistaken, was that the first or was that the second Detroit game? Maybe the second Detroit game.
It was the second Detroit. Yes.
So to me, right, like that's the scenario where it's like, yeah, I don't want my long-term answer.
There's my man Muck
at center to be somebody that we signed this offseason. I want my long-term answer at center to be somebody in the draft. But I do think you do more damage to guys by just going, just throw them to the Wolves.
So wait. So that was a problem. I misheard where you were going. My whole point was signing a free agent to me was like signing a new starter.
No,
that's why I was like, no, I don't care about signing a starter free agent person. Now to your point, if you're just signing depth, then fine. This is really not even a topic because I don't care. It's just backup centers.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then if anything,
I think he's the starting center.
Then you keep Feeney. Yeah. You keep Feeney that because you have some depth. But we got to get our center of our futures in the draft.
Yeah. I want him out there just for the mullet alone. I'm not going to lie to you. Like seeing a mullet in the wild is crazy, dog. I haven't seen that.
A mullet in the
I haven't
wild.
seen that in 10 years, bro. When was the last time you saw a mullet in the wild, bro? That's like seeing owls, bro.
no,
That's like seeing multiple owls in the wild.
Yeah, actually, in person, I've seen them around here and there, but
listen, if you see 3 mullets, get out of there. That ain't the city for you to be in, bro.
That's like your boy Uncle Laser. You know, you start to see these little mullets popping up everywhere.
If you see 3 mullets in the wild, bro, get out of there. That's a sundown town, dog. You don't want to be there.
Right. That's funny.
Oh, dog. All right, so let's look at the tight end. I feel like we did the defensive end thing kind of. You put your list together. We recently did that. You missed a lot of the main guys.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Danielle
I only
Hunter.
missed just
Danielle Hunter. You went with the guys you wanted.
I went with this is my list.
Yeah, it was your list.
So
nobody else got a list.
I'm sorry. But next time we'll have a consensus and everybody can give me their list. This was the list I had.
If anything, if you're going to go get anybody, Danielle Hunter, right? And 16 and a half sacks this year.
Let me look. I can't believe that was oversight.
Yeah, that was a huge oversight, my guy. That was a huge oversight.
No, what it was, something about Hunter did not. It was more. I think he was just.
He's coming. He's been off of injury, but I mean, he came back and gave you 16 and a half sacks this season.
I appreciate sacks, but I think it was no tackles. No, let me see. It was something that did not scream to me with Danielle Hunter.
I think he was at about 80 tackles or something like that.
No, 80 tackles is really good.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I want to say it was like 80 tackles
no,
this year. I might be wrong. No, I might be wrong on that.
I don't think that was the case. I think it was like, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up in a second.
Yeah,
keep going.
But I mean, listen, the defensive end market, like I've said, you got to attack either 3 technique or defensive end. I would rather see you attack 3 technique, because I know it's a linchpin piece.
Yeah,
that to me is the main, like you. Any piece on the defense, I guess Chicago can find, right? Like that's what we're best at. It's what we'll always be able to do. But I guess if Biggs is saying, right, they're focusing in on defensive end, that would be a position that he feels is weak in his draft. I don't know if I agree with that right now. But if I'm going anybody, I'm going bigger. I'm going home, right? Like I'm spending big money. Go get me Danielle Hunter. Go get me
I'm trying to find him up in here. I don't. Hold on. Let me pull.
He's on PFF. Are you spelling Danielle right back there?
I'm looking for the top defensive ends, and
I'll tell you another one, right? That may be interesting that you wanted to get in trade, was going to give up the first overall pick for, and they said no, and he may leave anyway. What's Brian Burns doing on the weekends?
Well,
how's his Sundays looking? Does he want Sundays in Carolina?
Yeah, he's on the list.
Is he somebody that wants Sundays in Carolina, or does he want Sunday? And I think maybe Brian Burns would be a great name to look at as a possibility, because we know Ryan Poles was willing to trade the first overall pick for him. It wasn't going to be DJ Moore. They weren't going wide receiver there. They were going for that defensive end. They wanted to go get Brian Burns. That means that he's a guy Flus wanted to have there. That means he's a guy that Poles wanted to have there.
Oh. Okay, back to Hunter. He's not on the list. He's not. They don't have him as a potential free agent. That's why they have him. There's like 119 guys on the defensive line. Is he a linebacker or a defensive end? That's probably what it is.
Maybe they got him as an outside linebacker. They're not running a 3-4 in Minnesota, are they? No, they're running 4-3.
Because I didn't see him. There he is. They got him as an outside linebacker.
Oh, that's gross.
That's why I didn't.
You know what? That makes sense actually though, because they switched back and forth.
Yeah,
because there was a season where his numbers took a tremendous dip, and it was literally the one season where he was standing up.
And according to you, by the way, you can't play either standing up or
no.
You can't.
No, you want to do that right now?
You
want to do that right now? You want to do that right now?
Me.
Hey,
you,
let me tell you this.
You. Me.
Hand in the dirt rookie year.
Yeah.
Amazing. They told him next season stand up. Man.
But they got him as a linebacker now.
Yeah, no. Told him next season, stand up.
Yeah.
You're an outside linebacker. He stood up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Next season, they told him, put your hand back in the dirt. He's back.
Okay.
So he took a dip when you changed how he played.
Yeah. Well, it's a different position.
No, it's a what?
He can play. I don't understand what the problem is. The whole point is they don't have him listed as defensive end. So he is obviously able to be able to. Yeah, I see him. We got to chat. The whole problem was when I was sorting through the top defensive ends, they did not have him listed as a defensive end, more of a linebacker. But yeah, 83 tackles and 17 sacks with 22 quarterback hits. Yeah, but he's also 29. And for me, I'm looking at guys that's more in that 25, 26 year range that we can get a couple more years out of them.
16 and a half sacks, crazy though.
True.
That's like Chris Jones, but from the edge.
You got to look at the snaps. This young guy got 957 snaps. Like a lot of guys, that's a lot of wear and tear on guys.
You a dog.
Yeah, but after a while, you're dog. And when you're a dog and hit a wall.
See, like here's the thing too, though. Like why we
he's 250. Yeah, see, too little.
This is a new thing that we did with too little. This guy only getting 16 and a half sacks. Yeah, too small.
That's because he got a good defensive line.
Who?
Minnesota got a decent defensive
line. Daniil Hunter was the defensive line.
No, he's a dog. I'm just saying 250.
This is my thing. This is a new thing that we do. How many snaps this guy got? How often is he on the field?
That does play into it.
Nobody asked Julius Peppers how many snaps you putting on the field. You just knew he's going to be on the field.
That metric wasn't available then.
We
got all these new stats.
It was more
stats.
We get the stats. They had them.
Oh yeah, they know it.
The front officers had. Nobody asked.
But Julius Peppers is a problem.
Let me ask you something. You asking the fridge how many snaps you putting in, dog?
Well, he was a rookie.
It don't matter.
He was a rookie.
Were you asking him how many snaps you putting in?
A rookie? You want to give him? He ain't done nothing.
I'm just saying, dog. Like we're sitting here, we worried about a snap count. He plays football, put his butt on the field, and look. That's why it cracked me up when Montez Sweat got over here. They subbed him out in an important moment. He like, what am I doing over here?
Yeah. No. I'm getting at is that if I'm targeting free agents in the draft, I want these guys to stick around a little bit longer than a 3-year window.
Yeah, that's
all. At 29, he's at a certain point, you're going to hit a wall. Yeah. Like these guys are not necessarily lasting as long in terms of a consensus of NFL players. It's, the average life of football players about 3 years, they say. Now the special ones, they can get a 7 to 10 year type of career. You're looking at Aaron Donald. That joke is 10 years in. Like just like that.
Just a monster.
I'm like 10 years already.
Just a monster.
So, my point is
that's how I feel whenever I see Derrick Rose back at the UC and everybody's just like, he's 34. I'm like, what?
Just now.
Like, what happened, bro? Like, I will say this. This is a weird moment. Now that I'm turning 30, I'm getting to that weird moment where all my childhood athletes are aging out. That's the scary time.
How do you think I feel?
Right, yeah, you've seen millions. Like, I mean, hundreds just come in and go. Like,
it's different for me now.
You cried when Michael left, didn't you?
It was a tear. I was in high school. Like, I'm watching. Actually, I was in college when that last year, 98. Yeah, I was in college.
Yeah.
So, you're watching your all these guys age. Like, Urlacher and I are the same generation. So it's like, yeah, I could have been in the draft. I could have been like my son. You think he's gonna be the number 1 pick? He's like, I could be there, because he's a little late.
He's a little late in the development right now.
I'm just saying, but you sit there. What's up? Shout out to George. JC, what up, baby?
Hot and ready. I'm coming fast.
There we go. That's my man.
Oh, what's he doing? Wait a minute.
But anyways, I think that that's what it is hard, but to see. These guys age out.
Dog, it's so weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was sitting there, I thought the first one ever for me, and I really didn't get to see the beginning of it. But when Paul Konerko retired, I remember just being like, huh. Most of my White Sox fandom and fan base has been based around this one guy. What do I do now? You know what I mean? Like that's a weird moment. Like you base a fandom around a certain player on your team because he's been there so long. Like Frank Thomas, I'm just like, hey, he's a White Sox.
But see, he was
now I look at him I'm like, oh, Nugenics. Hey, let me see what's to that.
But those guys are staples where you're used to having guys that played like 10 years.
Yeah.
So now when you're seeing you so that's the thing. Like you guys tease me all the time about the Bulls and basketball, but it's like there is an attachment that you have. So now it's like, my detachment has to be with the team more so than just some of the players. Like there's certain players that you want to gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And if you have someone in your squad that you come see and watch the development every year for so many years, that's what you look forward to. But now it's like if every couple of years, you got somebody. You kind of almost appreciate what like AK was trying to do, right? They get the team.
I mean, he's still doing it. He's not trying to do it. He's still doing it.
That's what I'm saying. You see what he's trying to do? Like they got these guys in here, but that's the only problem. Football, like Urlacher was like a 10-year player.
Yeah.
It's hard to get. I'd like us to build this team that we can have this type of sustained excellence. Can we? It's going to cycle in and out every about 4 or 5 years. I mean, when you look at what the Patriots did, where they were when they started to where they ended now, the only person still there was Brady and Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very different world, man. Somebody said, what was this? They said millions is crazy.
What?
Somebody, I'm trying to find the comment. I saw the comment and then I scrolled away from it. Fat Boy Choji said millions is crazy. You don't need to take that, GM.
Millions?
Because I said you've seen millions of players go by. He said millions is crazy. Dog.
Yeah, man. Stop. Yeah, man.
Joe's a vampire, bro. Y'all just don't know it, man. He's aging gracefully.
Hey,
Anything at the tight end you want?
I put up a
we
Noah
need depth.
Fant.
We need depth.
If Noah Fant,
Noah Fant's the one. Yeah.
Where's he at? I made something for Noah Fant. I mean, if you got the whole point was he would replace Tunyon, right?
Yeah, I mean, and when Waldron was at his best, you were running a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, right? So like I look at that, you got Dalton Schultz, Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, Gesicki, Gerald Everett maybe as a candidate for that as well.
Nah, it's more about depth.
I would almost say, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if Bowers is I think he'll be there at 9. I don't know if you could take a tight end in the draft.
I would throw something through the TV. I'd break this TV back here. I would break.
If we drafted a tight end,
I would end this TV for good.
If we drafted,
I've been dogging my TV in the back. Like I fixed this one the TV display, built a home for it, and then I gotta get the camera up so y'all can see it.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I would say, can we get like a 4th or a 5th round guy that you hope to develop or something like that? Like I'm not seeing any. Fant to me is a because he played in the system guy. He's a I wanna have this guy on my team because he's gonna be able to come in and dog. What'd you hit, bro? I got like a half screen of me, half screen. You hit that slider again, didn't you?
Sure did.
Hi-yo.
Sorry about that.
No, Fant is kind of like a just a guy that knows the system, comes in and gives you the Tunyon role, and hopefully can catch the football when it's thrown his direction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's really all you're looking for there.
No, I hear you. I mean, it's more about some type of continuity. That's all we've been talking about, right? Excuse me. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I would like. Yeah, I don't want to take no tight end in the first round. No.
Going. What if we get a what's old boy that's in Detroit? Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Oh, Laporta,
a Sam Laporta level tight end.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a playmaker.
But in the first round, that could be Bowers.
Yeah, but we need. I really want.
That just broke him.
I don't know. I don't know what to do, because it's like if they're staying with Caleb, if they stay number 1 and take Caleb at 9, I would prefer to get the left tackle. But something tells me they're not going to take the left tackle.
No, they're going to go wide receiver. Well, you're not going to have any of them. None of them are falling.
They may not be there.
Alton Olu and what's the other one that's out there?
Fashanu and Alt.
Olu Fashanu, Joe Alt, and there's
but there's going to be another guy. Wright was not considered a top.
Wright was considered the best right tackle in the draft.
No, but everybody was on Paris Johnson. Everybody was on
at left tackle.
Skoronski
at left tackle.
But I'm just saying, but for the most part, that in terms of the hierarchy, he was not. He was a 3rd or 4th person.
Yeah, but it's Paris Johnson was the best.
Kool-Aid a tight end.
Make Kool-Aid McKinstry a tight end,
Jordan,
bro.
That's why you keep losing at Monopoly.
Yo, when somebody said that in the chat, I was dying, bro. This is why Jordan keep losing in Monopoly. No, the
he could do it all.
The ranking to me was Paris Johnson 1. I want to say Broderick Jones was 2 because he was a pure.
Skoronski.
He was a pure left tackle, and then Skoronski as a left tackle. Darnell Wright was a right tackle. He was the only one that was a pure right tackle.
I got you. But the point,
and I like that we went and got him.
But I would prefer that this offensive line gets fixed. Like, we got to get that fixed.
Well, I think you still, to me, right? Like, are we sure left guard is fixed?
Yeah, that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be.
I love Tevin.
He's not going nowhere.
I love Tevin.
He's not going nowhere.
I'm not saying he's going anywhere. Are we sure it's fixed?
Well, it's the right. Yes, it's the right guard.
No. I'm looking at left guard because you know what? Like both guard positions for sure. Nate Davis was not to be desired last year.
No.
But the left guard was hurt. And is Tevin Jenkins having a Kyle Long type of career right now? A guy where when he's on the field, he's going to give you 250,000%.
Yeah.
He's going to be the best player on that offensive line. He's going to be a monster, but it's tough to keep him on the field.
I think when you have a bad center that keeps throwing the ball over your quarterback's head, you can't, get the line calls properly, things of that nature. Like you're as only as strong as your weakest link on any defensive line, offensive line. So he's good enough that even if he tries to overextend himself, which was a problem even with Kyle Long, very talented, but then he would get out of technique and then he would overexert himself and then he'd get hurt. Tevin Jenkins is a mauler. That's a big dude, but you can't have the center always effing up like that. So to me, if we don't fix that, and if
they just made Kyle Long the center,
well, he was done.
Yeah, he was done by that point.
Well, they drafted him as a guard. He was a tackle and they made him a guard.
Yeah.
But the point is, even with Tevin, no, he's a talent. I think if we get the center fixed, I would prefer an upgrade at left tackle. And then somehow, I guess Braxton can't play inside, but if we were to move him to inside, I'd be happy with that.
Listen, not with how he be getting bull rushed and the hand placement that he got on the outside. I don't
right,
see him on the inside.
It's a bigger, he's
a swing tackle to me, if anything.
Yeah, you're right. So I would like to see that.
I would like to see us, if we can, late in the draft a left guard. Maybe a fourth or fifth round spot, draft the left guard and hope to develop that guy into something. You got Tevin in there while it's happening.
There it is.
Got
it. No, the other shot with the other. I was going to, if we took the tight end, I'd break that TV.
Oh, yeah. It's just, that'd be a great video. Just see you with a chair, just like, on the Chicago Bears draft night. Bowers. Straight through the TV.
Why? My thing is this. Why can't, in my opinion, what does the draft give you versus free agency, right? Everybody's talking about, first it was all about MSJ, generation. We may not be able to get him. So now it's like, it's Rome Odunze. What if Rome Odunze is like the guy from TCU, last year? He was a problem at TCU, great dude or whatever, 6'4", 200 some yards. He's fast. Not a great receiver. But if we sign one of the guys, I guess it's the big cap hit. But now you get another receiver that's been in the league because now we can use that pick to get a position that we can't get. We know you're not getting a center in the free agency. You probably could get a defensive end in free agency, but in the draft, I don't think you can. So I would rather attack the draft at the best player we can get. Maybe it's the 3 technique. And, because if Dexter's not the guy, it might be this Newton guy from Illinois.
Right.
That might be the move we got to make with 9.
Could be. Definitely could be. I think that's a legitimate option there for the Bears. Like, there's going to be, the Bears are going to have a scenario now where if they do move on from Justin Fields, yes, you've got more money, but now what are you doing with that money? Because remember, a portion of this money has to go to Jalen Johnson.
Got to spend it.
You got to spend it on some of the pieces you got here. If you're keeping Tevin Jenkins, fine. Let's keep Tevin Jenkins. He's a future piece. You got to pay him next year.
Raging Oracle does not believe that Newton is you don't believe he's the number 1 guy? They don't think he's the best defensive guy? I guess to everyone's point, when I think about it, when I'm looking at this 3 technique position, that type of personnel, I'm thinking of Ndamukong Suh. We're talking Warren Sapp. Even with Jalen Carter, he was the projected number 1 guy last year.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking for that type of guy, that type of talent at that position.
See, that's why I think you got to get one that's already that guy. Like I do. I think that's one where you can't, not to say you can't find a 3 tech in the draft, but you just went and got a 3 tech last year in the draft.
Well, he might be it.
He might be, right?
But maybe you upgrade. So maybe they are set. Maybe that Billings is good. And so if what you call it behind you, if what's to call it Justin Jones is replaced by Dexter, you got Sweat. So then we need our defensive end. Sweat. Yeah. If we get the other defensive end, and now Dexter is in the lineup as a good player.
Right.
That's a pretty good defensive line. It almost remind me kind of like the Colts back then. That defensive line. Their defensive ends were amazing.
Yeah.
And they had good like they had good. They had amazing defensive ends with good defensive tackles.
What happened to who's old boy that went from that ended up getting cut by the Colts this year? Did he sign a long-term deal?
You talking about the linebacker?
Yeah.
He went to Philly.
Did he sign a long-term deal, or is he back out on the market?
I don't remember what his no, he probably, I don't know, maybe it was a 2-year. He's definitely in Philly because he was choosing between Dallas and Philly.
That's a tough pick right there, boy. You picked two teams that just you knew we weren't going to win.
Well, I think they believe Philly was.
I love how we sat here before this show and we were like, "Oh my God, how are we gonna come up with all these topics?" And then we've talked for an hour.
Dog, you ain't kidding. So I don't think we even finished the other topic. Wait a minute, what was the other ones we had?
We gonna break down this Bulls topic.
Oh, yeah, real quick, Bulls suck.
Well, let's do this ad read if we're gonna break down this Bulls topic, and then we at least can jump into the Bulls quickly on this one. The Bulls are so bad, we done just relegated them to the end of the show. We forget about Shaq Leonard. Shout out to Tricky Trips out there. Yeah, Shaq Leonard was who I was thinking of. I don't know, man. Like if you could get him back, like I don't. Shaq Leonard's a linebacker. Yeah, but he's man.
You would want DeForest Buckner. You would want everybody was high on DeForest Buckner.
I know, but he
no Shaq. No,
Shaq Leonard was a monster.
Yeah, he was. Now you talk about how you dog Saquon. He's really been through a lot. He's not even the same guy that he was.
No, yeah, he's a completely different player. Yeah. I was trying to see if I could get him for like $100. Now I got $100 and an Italian beef for you. Before we get up out of here, man, we do want to let you guys know that Underdog is also a sponsor of this show. I want to tell you guys, best way to get in on some NFL action ahead of this week in Super Bowl. It's Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just pick higher or lower than on your favorite or least favorite player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-win website and mobile app. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry and get every pick right and take home some cold, hard cash. All you got to do is download the app, sign up, use the code TWCB, and get your first deposit doubled up by $500. Remember, Underdog Fantasy gives you the flexibility where you don't have any waivers, trades, lineup setting, no league settings that you have to deal with goofy commissioners coming up with goofy rules that make things much more difficult. Sign up now with the code TWCB and you'll double your first deposit up to $100 in bonus cash. When you make your first deposit of $10 or more, deposit $100 and get $100 free. Once again, that is Underdog Fantasy. Turn your pick'em into you can turn your pick'em insurance, and it gives you a little more wiggle room. Make sure that you go in with Underdog Fantasy.
Dun, dun, dun. I should have music for that. Sorry,
little background music on the.
I'll
Underdog
work on that
Fantasy.
next time.
Background music. Listen, man, we're heading into the trade deadline, and this is an interesting one, my guy. Very interesting because the Bulls last night showed me something that I haven't seen in this team in a long time. I saw a legit leader on the court. I saw a legitimate amount of fight, heart, want to on a consistent basis in the second half. And I saw two big men on the court actually work together in Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic.
Really? Interesting.
And we may get to the other side of this deadline and Andre Drummond may not be here.
I hate the way that they used him. Like, this is one of the most premier rebounders in the game, and we don't use him right.
Yeah, but I said this yesterday on the show. It's his fault. It is his fault. And it's his fault from the standpoint of how the league is going to officiate him now. He's going to have games like yesterday, and he's going to have games where it's like when he was starting and Vooch was out, when, yeah, he's a nice center, but he picked up 4 fouls in the first half.
Yeah, but
I can't utilize you in that way.
Sneeze and get 20 rebounds.
Yes, but you can't get 20 rebounds if you're not on the court.
He'll be on the court. That's what coaching's for.
Coaching isn't going to take away how they're officiating.
Coaching fixes everything.
Is that what it is? Now, I will say it would help if we had a top 5 coach, but y'all know how I feel. A lot of these guys in the middle are the same. Who do you feel like, Joel, is going to be on the Bulls after this season or after this trade deadline is happening? Do you feel like there's going to be a major name moved, or do you feel like we're just standing pat, we're running it back, here we go, baby?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what the vision is. Like, I feel like whatever they're trying to do, if they're trying to recreate Denver and just, put the seeds, plant it, and let it grow. I mean, DeMar, for example, DeMar is like, what, 35 or 36?
Yeah.
You're not going to build around him. If you can get anything.
34. You're still not building
34?
around him.
Yeah, you're not building around him. He was a great addition to the team that you had started to build, which was around Zach and Lonzo. That team is no longer here like that. That's not happening. And Vooch was supposed to, I guess, be your, finesse center that can kind of get you some threes, but he's a 2010 guy if you let him. But it's not working. So if they move DeMar, what can you get for anybody?
Listen, there seems to be a lot of draft capital being offered out here. For Andre Drummond, they're saying you can get 3 second-round picks, possible late first.
Why do I want 3 second-round picks? That's trash.
You still going back to your old days. Second-round picks are hitting at a much higher rate now.
Oh, they went from 30% to 40%. Like, it's not that great, dude.
No, you're getting a lot of role players in the NBA from the second round now. You're getting a lot of solid players.
I want role players.
Hey, listen,
I've been watching role players for years.
You're trading one role player for the possibility of 3. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. No. Andre Drummond's not starting anywhere in this NBA.
He should be a starter.
Andre Drummond hasn't been a starter for 5 years, and there's a reason why.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying.
That
era of basketball is dead.
Well, thank you for destroying my dreams. And
I didn't destroy it. Adam Silver did. Stephen Curry did. LeBron James did. Don't blame me. Blame Justice Fruit Pies.
I know that they've killed the center position to a degree, but my point is that I personally, when I watch this team, get tired of seeing. I don't like how the offense is played. I don't like seeing like there's nobody even crash boards. It's typically, it just reminds me of like nobody's in the hole to rebound. It's all 5 guys on the outside, jacking up shots, no second chance points, no nothing. So
what makes it tough is you got, and this is the one part, right? Like you got to have somebody that can rebound. The one part that I will say that I don't believe Andre Drummond will be here post-trade deadline, especially because if the draft capital on the table is what they're saying it is, I think the Bulls want to recoup some draft capital. But they've got a young guy who they signed this season, undrafted free agent, Adama Sanago, 4-year guy in college.
Yeah,
he's a 6'9" rebounder. He's 6'9" Andre Drummond. And he basically came in, they sent him down to the G League, and he was like, I'm better than all these guys by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's a guy that you can bring up and have just play that Andre Drummond role, can move on the floor with Vooch, all of that, and you get some draft capital back in.
But I don't know. When I look at like even how the Warriors play ball, I mean, the idea is you have these dynamic shooters, right? Draymond is not a great shooter, but he was a good defensive player. He was a rebounder, all that type of stuff. The issue is that because we can't have P. Will, who's not a great scorer, and it's basically just Vooch, and then you got Zach LaVine basically just chucking the ball, like poor low IQ Zach LaVine. It's like he's putting us in situations where we're not winning. So then I got two scores that can actually do something with DeMar and Vooch. Technically with Zach, you can't afford to have Drummond out there because P. Will's out there. So it would be nice if we had another score or two where we can insulate that. Let Drummond be what he is. But if he's not going to be here, he's just not going to be here.
Well, I think what the Bulls need mostly is 3-point shooting. Like at the end of the day, the Bulls are
more shooters.
The Bulls, I've said this on Lockdown a couple of times. The Bulls are losing math problems. The Bulls came back and beat the Timberwolves yesterday. And they got back in it because Kobe White started knocking down the 3-ball.
Well,
and the only reason that they got back in is because how hot he got from the floor. People started closing out. He gets downhill. He's able to score under the bucket. Now, all of a sudden, you've got somebody who offensively is showing out. And with all that being said, Kobe White, I believe, knocked down 7 3-pointers in the second half alone.
Yeah.
The Bulls took in totality 10 more free throws than Minnesota, or 10 more 3-pointers, I should say, than Minnesota made. The Bulls took 30, Minnesota made 20. You're losing at math. Like if they take more threes and make more threes than you attempt, You're losing math problems. This is addition and subtraction, baby. Little fractions.
200 in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, over 200 in the chat. We've been over 200 in the chat. We appreciate that.
I just didn't.
Yeah,
We didn't shout it out.
Yeah, you don't be paid.
Breeze Nation.
I did shout it out.
You did shout him out? I thought we shot him at 100.
Nah, I shouted out.
Oh, you did do
You
200.
just moved past it. So
Yeah.
it's fine. But no, like that.
You see how my interest lost?
Yeah.
I started like
Second,
veering.
second, we started talking basketball. Hey, Joe, you got to slowly just go out the door. Just go out the side door. Joe, where you going? Joe? But no, I just
messing.
they got to get better at math. So you got to get guys in here that legitimately can shoot. And I don't know, maybe this is a Billy Donovan thing, but
yeah, like I don't.
You got to take more threes,
right? And I don't the system. Like first of all, I knew we weren't going anywhere 2 years ago when they extended Billy Donovan. It's like you already know what we're getting out of this situation.
Oh yeah, I know what Billy.
You know the type of system,
Billy's
whatever the system he is running. So
Billy's a good coach to where
Jay Cree, you silly man.
Billy's a good coach to where if you give him great players, he'll be great.
He'll be okay, like he was in Oklahoma.
If you give him great players, he can make the NBA Finals.
I don't know if he made the finals. Did he make the finals?
He
didn't make the finals.
No, he didn't. He made the Western Conference Finals.
That
did.
might be a stretch. I think he was a second round.
No, he made the Western Conference Finals and lost to
with Westbrook?
Stephen Curry. With Westbrook and KD.
They got
first year.
They got to the second round.
They got to the
Western. I don't know if Western Conference.
I thought it was Western Conference. I'm pretty sure it was the Western Conference Finals.
I don't know.
Breeze
Nation knows.
Fact checks us on that.
Breeze Nation knows.
But either way, right? With great players, he can
be okay.
He can go out there and win.
He could be okay. That was my thing. Like
here's the thing, though. That's every coach, though.
I don't want every coach. I want the coach.
You ain't got the coach. Most of the league ain't got. No, but I think here's my thing. Most of the league don't have the coach.
That's not my problem.
There's five the coaches in the league, and one of them I got major questions on right now. I think the game might have aged them by, but I'm not going to disrespect him.
Who? Doc?
Pop.
Oh, Popovich.
There's 5 great coaches in the league. Maybe.
Yeah, he's Belichick.
Maybe. Right? Like, we putting Kerr as a great coach in the league.
You said who?
Steve Kerr.
No.
All right. So Spo.
Kerr's a good coach. I don't know if he's great. Because the whole point was when Kerr was out, that team was so good that it made.
Yeah, but they still running his system.
Yeah,
he's still running the system he implemented. Like Phil Jackson took off and the Lakers kept winning.
Well, Phil took 2 different teams and he brought a system with his assistants.
But the point is, he
guys.
took off and the team kept winning. It's still Phil Jackson's system.
Okay, Kerr's a good coach. The whole point is we don't have it.
No. But what I'm saying is, I don't think most of the NBA has it. I don't think any. Like, if we're talking about
shout out to
difference-making coaches, I'll say,
thanks, Panji.
Denver's coach. Mike, I'm thinking football. My brain's on football. I'm thinking McDaniels right now.
He's the young. Dang it! I know exactly what you're talking about.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Breeze Nation. Breeze Nation. Where's our Western Conference? Where did Oklahoma go when what you call was there? Oh snap! My man Sam, what's up, baby? That's what my man Sam. People checking in, man. I didn't know people were watching the show, so he's like, "Yeah, I check it all the time. Appreciate that."
But did y'all see? Shout out football. CF Candy said, "Did y'all see Chris Haynes' report? I'm disgusted. They want to remain competitive because no matter what, they will sell out the UC. Stop going to games, please. That's never gonna happen. The Bulls have won 22 games and they've been one of the top 5.
Oh yeah, the business. Oh, we should probably put that out there. I'm sorry. Let me do that.
But no, I feel like like when you talk about great coaches, I'm getting off point. But like when you talk about great coaches, I don't think we have many of them in the NBA.
No, bro.
Like, and here's the thing:
we're talking about.
People talk. Mike Brown is in Sacramento. No, I would say maybe Mike Brown.
No,
maybe Mike Brown.
It's not that Oklahoma didn't go to the finals. I'm talking about when our coach
Mike Malone. Shout out football.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah,
Mike Malone.
No, our coach when he was in OKC. OKC, he only got to I think the 7th. I want to know if he went to the 3rd. If he got to the Western.
I thought he lost to them in the West. I thought he lost to Golden State.
Where's
in that Western
Jordan
Conference
at?
Finals. Yeah, we don't have a stat guy here today. But no, I think here's my thing with all of it though, right? Like
we don't have a guy.
Great coaches don't exist anymore.
No, that's not true.
Who? Spo.
Tibbs.
Tibbs ain't great.
Oh, you mean they don't exist anymore?
Tibbs ain't great.
He's competent.
So's Billy Donovan.
That's what I'm.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I mean, like,
fine, you got me there. Fine.
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, like, who's a great coach? I'd say Mike Malone, and he proved me very wrong. I was not a Mike Malone fan.
No, your boy Uday. You know, Uday and Mike. Who's the
Who?
Who was the dude? The Boston guy. Was it you?
Oh, Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka.
Hey, no,
he's a great coach.
I don't know if he's great.
He's great.
You know what the best thing Ime Udoka has done in shut up, Neil alone. You know what the best thing Ime Udoka has done out in out in Houston? I'm not gonna lie. This ain't even like, this is the best thing. And he did the same thing that me as a podcaster could do. He went down there, he looked at Alperine Sengun get the ball for 5 minutes every game and was like, that's the best player on our team. We could trade all the rest of these mugs. We don't need none of the rest of these people. Jalen Green, up for trade. Get rid of him. We don't need him. Like, that to me is the best thing that Ime Udoka has done. Steve Kerr, I'll give Kerr great. I think he's one of the top 10 head coaches in NBA history, but Joel didn't. Joel kind of gave him the
Because I'm looking at the total body. Like, the team is aging, so we're not seeing, okay.
It's not winning.
According to Breeze Nation, 2015. So I knew it was that year. Okay.
That's what I thought.
I wasn't sure. I'm just saying.
I
know he didn't go to the finals. That's all.
No, he lost. No, lost the 3-1.
Second or a third round.
Lost the 3-1.
Yeah.
But I just my point in all of it is, right, like, if you give a coach like that great players, right? Like, I don't think Nick Nurse is any better than Billy Donovan. Nick Nurse had Kawhi. They won a championship.
True.
You took away Kawhi, they were the Bulls.
Golden State got hurt.
Still won a championship.
They were able
at a minimum. Look, at a minimum,
Golden
made
State
a
was
finals.
popping Achilles like pain pills.
But look, at a minimum, that's crazy. It's crazy work back there. At a minimum, made a finals, right? At a minimum, he made a finals.
Yeah.
Took Kawhi away from that. They're the 6th seed the next year. I mean, maybe it's bounce back year. They're going with the young guys.
Philly,
we're going 8 now.
A bounce ball bounced Philly out, and Golden State, all they do is get hurt. Like,
well, I mean, Kawhi Leonard had to make the
Kawhi Leonard does help.
He had to make the 3-pointer that sent them to the next round.
I mean, doing.
And it went in.
No, I just think that it is a combination of players and coaching. And sometimes, is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? I think you have to have coaches.
I think in the NBA is 70-30. I think if you
maybe
have
today's NBA,
if you have great players, you will have great coaches. The reason that I think Eric Spoelstra is one of the few great coaches in the NBA is because they've taken away his great players how many times? And his teams are always competitive. His teams are always in the mix. His teams are always making the NBA finals. Yeah. Right? Like, making the NBA finals with Jimmy Butler is insane work. That probably making the NBA finals with Jimmy Butler cements him more as a great coach than winning with LeBron did.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I say all that to say, right, we got a little sidetracked on the topic, but I say all that to say that when we get good players or great players in here, that's when this takes the next step. Right. And I think that having great players does more than Billy Donovan. Because all of a sudden, right, Kobe White's being a leader. He's speaking up. He's putting people in the right place. He's playing point guard. He's putting up 30 and a half. And all of a sudden, we're like, oh, well, that Billy Donovan scheme, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, so it's nice, like, finally, if Kobe White is basically our new Jimmy Butler, that, he came up finally developing.
Right, yeah.
Finally developing. So now we say, okay, we're going to build around him.
You got to make the right decision.
And now
you can't get rid of Zach now.
Well, Zach needed. I think, we're stuck with that.
You're stuck with Zach.
I think we're just. How do you get the missing component? Is maybe another, like you said, another 3-pointer shooter, or I would prefer a more well-rounded big man. Like Patrick Williams has not become who they were projecting him to be.
That's over.
So it's like,
it's okay, guys. You
have to kick Zach back down to the third option.
No, I think 2.
No, he's the third option. He's not the number 2. He's not the guy that you put the ball in the hands. Is he Scotty level? Like, I mean, if there's the Mike and there's the
Scotty's
Scotty.
one of the top 50 greatest players of all time.
See, you just got to go there. I'm just saying, but the idea is that can you trust your number 2 guy to win games or make key pivotal decisions? And he doesn't seem to be that guy. But the third option, okay, that's a great. He's great to have as a third option.
I don't know if I think your number 2 guy, you know who your number 1 guy is. Like, you know, you're going to go to your number 1 guy in those moments.
What I'm saying is that now that Kobe White is ascending,
right,
he might be the linch. He might be the guy to build around.
I agree with that, but I think that Zach LaVine can play that perfect Klay Thompson role of being able to go out there and
Chris Cooks is like, for real, let's talk Bears. Bull season already over. See,
we talked Bears. Chris, rewind. Just hit that rewind. Appreciate you for coming through and rocking with it.
He want to talk Bulls. I'm like, we know what they are.
Hey, they're
the same coach,
they're
same system.
They're a team in this city. We do have to talk about them a little bit. We did.
We gave them a good.
We gave them a good 20 minutes, more than I thought we was gonna give them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You didn't think I could even have a conversation.
I didn't. I thought you haven't watched the game this year.
I don't need to. It's the same squad. What did I miss? Give me the cliff notes.
Torrey Craig. No, man. I don't know what the Bulls are going to do. They say they want to remain competitive. They feel like they could climb in the Eastern Conference. I'd be surprised to see that, but hopefully pleasantly surprised. But let us know how you guys feel in the comments below.
I think they are.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you haven't done so, and we'll be back tomorrow. Prepping for tomorrow's Thursday, ain't it? What's tomorrow's topic? I don't know what we talk about tomorrow. We'll see what news comes out. Oh, we'll be talking about the Bulls trade deadline. So yeah, see if they do anything or nothing, basically. Hey man, as always, for the super producer Joel Holt, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.